I wasn't.
Oh,
I didn't know you started.
yeah, I hit it. I hit record. You
Oh,
said I'm ready, and I was like, all right. I hit
oh,
record.
shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good few minutes. I'm sorry.
No, that's all good.
Continue. You were on Kev on stage page.
Yeah, I was on Kev on stage page, and I was on his dog's page, Monty,
Right.
actually, and I was just like, oh, I was looking at every page, oh, so I was doing that a lot today. Oh, Monty, oh,
It's a cute dog.
it is, it is very.
It's the same dog as Aurora.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
No
Whoa.
way.
I don't know if there's a difference between a golden doodle and a labradoodle. I think Monty is a golden doodle,
Okay,
but
this that
it's
can't
still a
be.
lab and poodle mix,
I was like,
regardless.
it can't be. It can't be the same dog.
I'm
There's no
I'm
way.
pretty sure they're the
There's no
same.
way. I just don't see it.
Cause
But
that's what Shayla has too.
oh, I know
They got
Shayla
a
had a. But to the point. I saw one of Kev's videos where he was complaining about Monty pooping in the crate.
I
And I
saw
was like,
that too.
that's on brand. Now that you say it, that's Aurora esque. So maybe.
I was just telling somebody about this dog that I knew that just had projectile diarrhea frequently, just throughout her life, or at least as long as I knew her. And I'm just like,
It was Aurora.
yeah, yes,
I was like, what other dog you know that?
no, it was Aurora. She, oh my gosh, and I felt like it happened because before we all lived together, there were a few times where I would watch her if he who must not be named like
Yeah.
went out of town.
Yeah.
And like every time it was like clockwork. I would go in the house, go to the crate, there would be diarrhea everywhere. Like outside of the crate, all on the carpet, on the wall. Like it was like a scary movie where the little parrot was just that's, that's how she was.
It's like how? How did you
I
do
don't
this?
know. It's
How
like
did
she
you
just
just
does it
and
standing
she
straight up.
but I feel like I would be looking at her and I was like, you know what you doing. I would look at her sometimes and be like,
All of them were out of spite.
yeah. I was like, something's not right. You look like like it's like you looking deep into her soul and it's like,
Yeah.
what's up. You know what's happening. I told you she pooped on my Bible. I think I've told you that story on here. I couldn't believe that. I really couldn't believe that. I really to this day. I had just got that Bible too. Like somebody gifted me that and was like, yo man, I just want to give you this Bible. I was like, oh man, thanks. And then
I don't
one
remember. Is that the one she ripped up too?
yeah,
That's the
she
same
ripped it up
one.
and she boo booed in it. Yeah. Yep. Out of spite. That dog ain't going to heaven. I know that. If dog's going there, she is not getting in. Just off that act alone. She not getting in. If I go to get to heaven and Aurora is there, I'm got questions. I'm like,
It's been bamboozled.
yeah.
Oh shoot.
But yeah, welcome back to the podcast that shall remain nameless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bang bang.
Yeah.
Shoot 'em up.
Is that your like what's this look like one of them guns they have in the space movies where that's how you beat aliens with?
Nah, it's my AR-15.
Oh, word. That's
Yeah.
what's up. You probably
Yeah.
need those. Yeah. It's legal, right? Or you need a license up there.
No, it's not legal.
Oh,
That
not
I
yet.
don't stop anybody from having them.
True.
I
True.
just literally just saw a dude outside on his porch just holding it over his shoulder. Like last week. With his kids behind him.
Hey, speaking of that, over the weekend it was Ruck's birthday, and so it was a bunch of people went out, And this dude, I'm in this fantasy league with Ruck and like a bunch of his friends from like Tennessee State. So the dude's name is Rod. He from Detroit. And so I actually gave Rod a ride to the party because he didn't have a ride. I was like, "Oh, Rod, I got you. I know him from the fantasy group. I was like, I got you." So on the way there, he was telling me like, I was like, "Yo, what part of Detroit you from?" He's like, "Oh, I'm from the East Side." I was like, "Where on the East Side?" He's like right off Mack Avenue. I was like, "Nigga, that's my second hood." But no, he was like taken aback. He was like, "What are you doing over there?" I was like, "I'll be over there. I'm certified." Yeah, that's where I go, baby. I do feel like so thuggish when I come to the East Side and I'm driving through and I'm like, yeah, I got somewhere to be. Yeah, I'm here. I know where I'm in the hood and I'm here to be here. I ain't just driving through. Y'all not chasing me out of
dudes
Detroit.
that I used to work with, and they like grew up over here, and I would tell them like, yeah, I bought a house over there, and he's like, no, you didn't, Kyle, shut up. And I'm just like, he's like, where? Name 2 cross streets, because I don't believe you ever been over there. And I was like, Belvedere and Charlevoix. He was like, Kyle, what are you doing over there? Like his whole demeanor changed. Why are you over there? Stay away. Just like
yeah, can you get a refund on the house? Can you take it back?
He might have said something like that. And then later on he changed his narrative and he started doing more research. And he was like, oh, I think you might have been on to something. I see they doing a lot of like redevelopment over in that area. And I was like, yeah, they are.
That's Rod turned into a real estate advisor too. He was like, he need to tell him to stay down. Just keep on, keep hold on to that. He gonna appreciate that in a minute. Yeah. I thought, okay, Rod. Thanks, Rod. Thanks.
But nah, this is it's a little product promotion because they gonna pay us one day. This is amazing.
What is it?
It's a salt gun.
Salt?
Salt, like you put table salt in it.
Really?
And you shoot insects.
Oh.
So you just like pump it and just pow. It's got a safety on it, everything. Come on, bro. This has changed my life. I literally just killed a fly before I started. That's why I got it right here. But y'all just got to know about these things. Cop you one.
So the salt kill them, or I ain't know salt kill fly, or is it the impact of the salt?
It's the impact of it.
Oh.
It just shoots it so hard. Like you don't have to get close to it. Like you don't have to worry like it scatters the shot. Like it one shot kill every time. Like it works beautifully.
Cause summertime in Tennessee gets real insecty. So I might that might be a good investment.
Yeah, I've killed some.
And you
spiders.
can't miss. I guess they don't see it coming, huh?
Nah, I guess you don't have to get that close. Like you gotta be within like 3 feet. But like I mean, that's close enough and still far away enough that they don't try to fly away.
Right. Huh.
It's amazing. I'm so pleased. I got it on like a whatever you call it, Black Friday deal.
Word. How much
so
word
happy.
is it?
I think like $30.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say they're telling me it's like $100.
Oh no. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have bought it. I mean, I still hesitated. You know how cheap I am. But I've just been hearing so many good things about them that I gotta try it. CP the comedian, he like advertises these a lot too.
Oh,
he's just like, it's amazing. So
Detroit's own, by the way.
Detroit's own.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get you one.
Word. Okay, I'm gonna do that, especially for this weather, really, because I've been seeing, outside. It's been a lot seeing, because we had a wasp issue. I think did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a wasp issue, so they might come back, So yeah.
Yeah, it might work on a wasp. I don't know.
So it's mainly for flies.
That's what they advertise, but I've killed other things with it.
Okay.
I don't know if it would work on like
you kill rats. You kill all types of just.
I killed a groundhog.
Have you
No,
tried to shoot yourself with it? How I wonder if it hurt.
no, I have not.
You should try it on
I
yourself.
no, thank you.
Just like
I
right on the neck.
on my neck,
Yeah.
and then it
Just
pierced
see
me, and I bleed out like just some off chance,
it hits an artery.
right? And burns like hell at the same time.
Yeah. It's a terrible way to go out. Terrible way.
Oh my gosh.
Oh well, I feel like we can't waste any more time on this.
I know. We know what we got to talk about today.
We know what we came here for. We know
We
why
know
I
what
was
we
so
came
here
here
to
for.
do. We know why we're here.
I
We
still
know-
can't believe it though.
I was in
don't-
suspended disbelief.
I'm still in it. Like I still don't know. I don't know. I'm waiting, trying to hold out and see.
I'm past that point. I'm like, oh, this was real. This is definitely real. But like, at the time, I was like, I kept rewatching the video, and then I would be like, like when I saw the they did you see like the Australian like version of it where they show him cussing him out?
Yeah. Mine was a Japanese version.
Oh,
But
okay. Well,
yeah.
yeah, it was the Australian one too. But but like as that was happening, I still was like, all right, this still might be a sketch. Maybe it's like this is not, they planned this, and I'm like, nope, this was not planned.
Right. Because
At all.
then, like, there was a couple moments where I see, like, look like Will smiling a little bit, or like
Right.
trying to hold
When
it
he
in.
walked, he had a smirk as soon as he turned around. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, this is a bit. This is a bit.
And then when he went and like sat down, like he still had a little smirk after when he said it the first time, but that
Yeah.
second time, that was like, oh, like he elevated. But then I was still like, but he's still one of the greatest actors in the world, though. So like,
He won Best Actor as soon as
he could literally pull that off and make it
Right.
believable.
Right.
So I'm
right.
like, I don't know. But then the aftermath, and like Chris Rock was just like, he was clearly caught off guard. He was like
Shaking.
flabbergasted.
Yeah.
And he handled it well.
But there was a
But
moment
still.
I could tell he was he was thinking of jokes. It looked like he was processing like a joke he could have said in that moment or something he could have. But then he just kind of like let it go and was just like, all right, I'm gonna just have to eat this one. He did handle it well. He handled it real well. Where do you stand? Do you think Will was right? Let's just get it. Let's
Was he right?
not right. Well, I guess not even right or wrong, because it probably was wrong. But like, what's
Right.
yeah.
I don't know. I've been going back and forth. Usually, like I'm hearing people at work talk about it, and I'm just like I'm defending whatever they're saying. Like I'm just on the opposition of whatever they're saying, just to be that person. And I don't know, like I see the aspect of like defending your wife's honor, but I didn't see like the whole process. And some people were saying he was laughing at first.
He did
and
laugh
then,
at first.
And then he like looked at Jada and she wasn't laughing.
No, she didn't laugh. She definitely
And then
she rolled her eyes as soon as
and then that's when he like turned it on and was like, okay, all right, I gotta go and do this. Cause one coworker was like, yo, Will is whipped. She is running him. She's like in control of him.
I've seen some takes on that left side of things. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't see it that way. Like I still see it as trying to defend his wife's honor, and like despite all of the other stuff that they've been going through. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of hard because I don't even know what kind of history he and Chris Rock have. Like there could be something else. I've seen that there is something between them.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing for sure. Chris Rock is not loved in Black Hollywood like Will Smith is.
He's not? You don't
Not at
think so?
all. Not at all. Nobody even cared about what happened. Nobody was checking on Chris after all that. Everybody asked what happened. Is Will all right? He the one. He the. He the perpetrator. Everybody, you good, Will? You all right, baby? Like Denzel and Tyler Perry was around him. They wasn't around Chris. They wasn't asking how Chris' face felt. They was checking on Will. They was like, you Will, your knuckles all right? How your hand feel? You ain't break nothing, did you? Like they ain't checked. Nobody cared about what happened to Chris Rock. They did not care. So it leads me to believe he's not really like, which I could see that. I think even in the black community, he's not as like embraced as, well, definitely not as Will Smith, but in general,
not as well.
like,
Yeah.
and even in the comedy world though, he's still not super embraced amongst the black community though. So I think, because I think what happens with social media too is like if we love you, we're gonna so social media is gonna defend you to no end. Like no matter how unjustified, there's still gonna be somebody who's gonna take, and if we don't really rock with you like that, it's really nothing you can do to like win anybody over. So like for most people, it was like, oh, it's justifiable that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. I don't think it was justifiable because I don't think it was like, people keep saying defend him, but it wasn't like he was about to slap his wife and he had to. It wasn't a physical.
Right.
I get the words. He could have started with the keep my wife's name out show. He could have just screamed that out right after it happened and did it twice, and that probably would have sent enough of a message. So yeah, I think the slap was too far, and it ain't even on some like.
It definitely was.
Yeah, it was way too far. And I think some people have been like taking it as like, oh, if you think that, then you care about what white people think or care. It ain't even. That's not my stance at all. That's not what even it's about. But it's just like, that's just not like, a normal person couldn't just walk up on somebody or slap them in response to something and not there be consequences for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they do live in a vacuum of where they can like kind of skirt consequence in some ways regard, because you couldn't just like, somebody could yell at you from their porch, you walk up on and slap them, that's simple assault.
Right.
And if you ain't got bail money, you're going to be in jail for 60 days. So it's like, yo, like, what are we really doing? Like, I wouldn't, like, defend that. And then some people are like, oh, well, you don't defend your woman, or you don't, was like, it's like, that's not, I don't even think it, like, look at it like that. There was other ways to defend her that didn't involve physicality, especially in that moment. It wasn't like she was physically harmed or in threat of being physically harmed. So,
right. And that's what. Yeah, and I do think that's why I do think there's something way deeper just with Will as a person. Like,
for sure. That's the real,
Right. That's like the real concern in all this.
Yeah.
That, like,
see, look at us again. We still asking, is Will all right?
I know.
We stopped Chris's.
Because he was just but like, that's the thing though with Chris, he's just doing his job. Like, that's what the host of the Oscars does.
He wasn't the host though.
Oh, he wasn't?
No, he was just
like
doing
introducing the.
It was like he was doing a segment.
Okay.
And just, no, the hosts were Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes, and Regina Hall.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't know anything about the Oscars.
Yeah, they had 3 women hosts this year, I guess, which was somewhat history. But yeah.
Yeah. But. Okay, so that's why I was seeing stuff about them too. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he definitely could have done something very different, and I don't know. Like, it just seems so weird because like Will Smith is like the golden child. Like, he's been keeping this clean cut image for so long, and like rumors came out like decades ago about him and Jada. Then more recently that stuff really started coming out. Now he's talking about it more, and like, so part of me feels he did this knowing like, I'm Will Smith, and and also like, he doesn't really want it. He didn't really want to have that clean cut image as much as he does.
Yeah.
And like, maybe he's trying to like change that.
So to that point, I haven't finished his book, but I've read bits and pieces, enough of it to get a little picture of it. And he talks to answer. I watched some interviews he did, like promoting the book and leading up to it when it was coming out, and he talks a lot about how like, he kind of has always felt like he's been playing a role in a sense. of who he is, and kind of been like, and I guess how he's grown up, he's always been a bit of a people pleaser, and so he's always kind of he's been felt always a little bit boxed in by the image of who he is and versus the reality of who he is. And I guess over the past, maybe it was the pandemic, I don't know, there's been, I think over the process of that, writing that book, right, or coming out with that, he wanted to deconstruct the image of who he was and really show people actually who he was, if that
Mm.
make. And so I think like, and but that's the, but I think on the another hand, what's weird about that is like that's cool, and I get that, like wanting to, like, I guess transcend the image or transcend what people think of you, but I also think that as since he by the definition of his job as an actor, it's like where is the line between who he really is and when it's an act, and you know what I mean, and
Mm.
if he and when he's like for this example of him like slapping his, like, was this could have been the real Will Smith, but he also talks about like how he's just feels like he can't always be himself, so it's like, is he not being himself or is he being himself, like who is, you know what I mean? I think
Mm.
honestly you're right, I do think like this really like kind of casts a real shadow on like who is really like him, who is he really, and do we really know him? And we probably don't. We probably obviously we don't know him, who he really is. But like I think for his own benefit is he has to get to the bottom of that question. And who does he want to be going forward? And does he want to be the nigga just slapping people at award shows? That's like, if he wants to do that, then cool. But like stand in that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah. Stand in that and like be who you really want to be is, I would tell Will Smith. I mean, I'm probably not qualified to give
Right.
him advice, but yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, he has been the man since like a teenager.
Since like 1988, he won the first rap Grammy ever in
Right.
history.
Right. Like
Like
that's what I'm saying. He
he's
was
been
a
around.
teenager,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, I don't know. So does he stay who he is if he is just a violent person?
I don't know if he's a violent person, but I think he's always felt like some of the excerpts I read of his book, like his dad was very abusive to his mom,
Mm.
and he like always felt like he had to defend his mom in a lot of ways. So he's always felt like he's had to defend people, and so that's part of his
Mm.
like identity, is feeling like he has to be the one to kind of like take the bullet for things. And so I think that's where the slap came from. I don't think it's like he's like this monster just going around fighting people, but I also feel like he's a person that feels like I have to be the one to step up. And I think in that moment, that's what he probably felt to some extent. So yeah. I do think though what's weird, and people brought this up, and maybe I guess it's some other man, but she's a public figure, so I guess we can speak on it. But it's like I often feel like Jada Smith, like kind of like in a lot of these situations, she kind of like eludes a lot of criticism a lot of the time, and all this stuff that's happened with their marriage and the stuff that's come out and everything like
Mm.
that. I feel like she often evades like any real like critique from people. People tend to it ends up going back on Will somehow, and and it's right. I've read some takes where it's like it's almost like he's the one who faces the embarrassment more so than her, or faces
Yeah.
like the brunt of the scrutiny and everything like that. And I think that's a real thing. I don't know like what the solution to that is. I don't know, but I do think like my dad, his theory is he need to divorce get out of that toxic marriage. That's his advice, But my dad laid out a whole plan for how Will Smith can successfully can rise above this whole situation. So Will needs a life coach. My dad is very willing to help.
Call Orlando.
Call Orlando. Call him up.
That is funny.
But yeah, I think I do think that's another real criticism, is that like he's been forced to kind of bear a lot of the brunt because of things like that's happened. And obviously in this situation, I can't completely fault her feeling like, she feels offended. She feels offended. I
Right.
can't, I can't make somebody feel a certain way, but I do think there's other things she's done that has been like, yo, you putting it on this, he's bearing the brunt of it. You kind of embarrassing him on the low, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a lot of layers to this.
it is like that aspect. It, that's real because childhood trauma goes so deep. You don't
Yeah,
know how it's gonna come out, when it's gonna come out. It's just gonna
right.
come out. Like,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna get a Joe Goldberg, and that, and not saying Will Smith is
A
Joe
you
Goldberg.
reference. Another you reference.
He's not Joe Goldberg, but it's just trauma, man. Trauma does so much to you.
Yeah.
But to that point of the Jada thing, like even with like the August Alstina stuff, like
Yeah.
it was always Will. As you were saying that, I was
Yeah.
thinking of people were
Yeah.
always coming at Will and
Yeah.
being like, what's going on? Like how are you running your household type
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and but they all the both of them are already kind of open in their relationship. And because I brought that argument up of like he loves his wife and he doesn't want to see her get hurt or like anything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
and then other people were just like, nah, man, but she's cheating on him, doing all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but they kind of got an open relationship. And they were like, right. So why does he care if like he was on Red Table Talk crying and all this stuff? Like, why would he care? And I'm like, man, I'm not in an open relationship. I don't know how that works, but I know he still loves her. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't want to see her reflected negatively to the world. Like that can
Yeah.
still be painful to somebody.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Um
And I ain't.
so
I mean, I'm not. I don't have any. I've never been in an open situation either. But I can definitely like. I definitely think it's possible to still love somebody, and like you know what I mean. Still like I think. I think men too. I think it's hard for a lot of men to understand like loving someone beyond like I guess whatever your possessiveness or whatever the you know what I mean, beyond like the monogamy or lack of monogamy.
right.
And men also we love from a place of possession. You can tell in how our takes have been about this is like, oh, if she sleeps with somebody else, she doesn't. I don't own her anymore, or she belongs to somebody else now, or
Right.
and so it's like that's not really love anyway. But a lot of men are like taking that stance. It's like, yo, she don't belong to me, so why am I defending her? Why am I putting? And it's like that's not really love, really, honestly. Like
Right.
even if you don't agree with the open aspect of it, that's still not love. You know, at least not the love you should have in a sense of and context of a marriage. Now, I'm not saying I would be okay with my wife out cheating either, but I'm just saying
Right.
that if you really love somebody, then you know that might have to transcend a lot of mistakes a person makes.
Right. Yeah. I, I don't know. Like again, like you said, I work in middle America, so the stuff that they say is just but I also feel like a lot of the stuff they say isn't going to be anything different from no matter who you are in America.
Yeah,
If
right.
you're a toxically masculine man who thinks one track mind, like one dude was just like, yeah, man, that whole thing, man, it's gay. And I'm like, what? How is he gay? Like, I don't, how is that the conclusion from him slapping him? Like, what?
Hey, it's a picture. Hey, I'm about to send you this picture right now. Hey, it's a picture of them sitting next to each other, and
Mm.
like Jada's legs is wide open and Will's crossed. Have you seen that picture?
No.
Hold
No.
on, I'm gonna send it. Uh, oh my gosh, if I find it. But people have been using that picture to kind of like paint a very broad stroke of what their marriage is and isn't. If I find it,
All of it
uh,
is interesting, though.
oh, here it is. Yeah, this is it.
Did you watch the Oscars at all?
I turned on for that part. Well, actually, I missed it, and then I went to Twitter and then I turned it off after that. So I didn't even see. I saw he won the award, but I didn't see him get announced to winning that award. That was even crazy because I forgot he was up for best actor.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm finding this picture. I had it, but it didn't download.
How do you feel about the narrative that he's setting black people back because that was
Oh,
supposed to be a huge moment and
I think I don't necessarily like that argument because that's like respectability politics, and I'm just not a fan of respectability politics. Like,
mm,
I don't think white people have any place to lecture us on what violence and nonviolence should look like. But I do. But it is a valid criticism that black people have been complaining. Black Hollywood's been complaining about lack of access, lack of recognition at these award shows, and on a night that we got a lot of recognition, this is the thing that's overshadowing. I think that's a very valid critique of like what
yeah,
happened and everything like that. That's very valid, and that has nothing to do with white people or we look like to white people. It's just the fact that this was a lot of people's nights to like really like get they shine, and unfortunately, this is what we're talking about on Tuesday.
right.
Because Questlove won he won for like best documentary.
Yeah,
Samuel
that was what he was being awarded, wasn't it?
Samuel L. Jackson. That was an award that was that Chris Walker was announcing. Samuel L. Jackson got his first Oscar ever. It was a Lifetime Achievement Award, but still he got his first Oscar ever, and he should have been won an Oscar for something.
Right. I was about to say that's his first.
That's
I would have thought he had one.
In he had like a darn near 50-year movie career, and that's his first Oscar.
He should have got one for Deep Blue Sea.
Have you seen Deep Blue Sea? A shark ate me. That scene is crazy. I remember every time I see that scene, I'm like, dang, this is about to happen. He was really speaking. He was spitting some real stuff too, and then shark said, "Shut up," as only a shark can say.
I remember seeing that movie in theaters with my dad. Like, that was such a special moment. And I was like, why is this so significant that this shark is swimming backwards? He's like, cuz sharks can't swim backwards, son. And I'm like, oh, dang. That's crazy.
I texted you the picture too, by the way.
No, I'm looking at it. At first, I'm like, I thought it was from like the other night. But at first, I was like, I don't get it. But now I see how people can take like the whole power dynamic. Like he got his legs crossed, her legs open.
Yeah, people have done a lot of psychoanalysis of that picture.
I can see people doing it. That's why. That's funny.
Yeah, man.
Only thing that would have made this whole situation better is if it was Wayne Brady. And Chris Rock said, Wayne Brady just slapped the shit out of me. You know how funny that would have been? People wouldn't have been in shock. It would have just been funny. Nobody would ever believe it, even if it was serious, if it was Wayne Brady. That's the what if that I want to play. I'm tired of hearing if it was a white man, he wouldn't have done it. I don't care. Whatever. If it was Wayne Brady, though.
And then he go on that rant. They took my show, and then now everything's
and I hope somebody else would have yelled, "Oh, it's Wayne Brady!
It's Wayne Brady, son!"
And then he takes somebody's sandwich on his way back to his seat. Give me your sandwich. Give me your sandwich, Tom. He take it from Tom Hanks. That's the person who he got to take that sandwich from.
Some of the still pictures they've shown, like they showed a picture of Beyonce and Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. And Jay-Z, they said Jay-Z looked traumatized. He does look like appalled.
He does?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can find it now. Now I got to send you that. 'Cause he did. He looked, they said he looked giving flashbacks from Solange. When...
I was thinking Marcy Projects, but they went to Solange. That's messed up.
I made that picture of him slapping in my Facebook picture, by the way.
Of course you did.
And I really regretted it because one of my aunt and uncles got into an argument under the picture about what they should and shouldn't have done. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's so funny, like stories that I post on Instagram or stuff that gets posted on Instagram. My mom will see it on Facebook because they're just connected, and
You don't have to do that because
I know you don't.
Yeah,
but
you
I
do,
be
yeah.
forgetting that it's just like I have it
Yeah.
by default connected,
Yeah.
and she'll just be saying something or like, "Hey, I saw this," or "I saw what Willennium did," and I'm just like, "Oh, okay, I don't know what you're talking about." Like, I'm not on social media like that half the time, but it'd just be funny. And when you say that, your aunt and uncle, that's what Facebook is. It's just
Facebook
old
always makes me
people.
regret what I share on Facebook. It never fails. I'm always like, oh my God, why did I put that on there?
Like, I think I posted a video when I was walking Terrence like a week ago, and I guess somebody at my mom's church showed my mom, and it was just like, yeah, you was out, had your hair all crazy, and walking around with a Hennessy bottle, and I was just like, yeah, like what? Do you have something to say about it? Like, I don't. Where are we going from here with the conversation? This is so funny.
People don't know. I be laughing every time you tell me a story about his mom because I know his mom, so I know like exactly how she says stuff.
Like her tone, her demeanor behind it. Like,
I saw that video too. You walking around with the Hennessy bottle too. I saw it.
Oh, he does. He looks scared.
He does.
But I was also laughing at Lupita because she's sitting right behind him, she's like, and you can see in her face that she's trying to figure out, is this real or not?
Her face is telling everybody. Her face is what everybody's feeling in that moment. Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, this, and then it's just dead silent. Like,
yeah. Lupita fine, but Lupita need to call me back. She got to call me back.
Okay.
Friend of the pod, Lupita.
Yeah,
I can't pronounce her last name, but she a friend still.
You just know it's gonna be Riddle one day, so that's all.
Yeah,
you need to
that's
know.
all that matters, baby. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
I was gonna say, no, it wasn't. No. Was there ever like a question mark on her and Michael B. Jordan?
Nah, not that I know of. I mean, it might have been, but I never.
I don't. There was. She was some actor. I can't think of who it was.
Not
though.
Chadwick.
Not Chadwick, because he's married. So I don't think.
Yeah, that's who I'll. Oh, maybe was that the dude who played the people in the mountains? Who was the people?
M'Baku.
Yeah, M'Baku. Maybe him.
No, whatever. It's
also,
not
I want
important.
to especially shout out another friend of the podcast, Kelly Rowland.
I
want to shout her out.
What she got going on?
She just wore an amazing number at the Oscars or the after part, whatever she was going. I wish I was there. I just wanted to be there. I don't usually bleed like I want to be, but I wanted to be there. I wish I was there to see Kelly. Like, how you doing, Kelly?
Can I ask why was she there?
You know, her and Beyonce like best friends. If Beyonce anywhere, Kelly gonna be wherever Beyonce at.
Why didn't I didn't know if she was just like her plus one or something, because I know she don't be acting like that. No, she tried to get into the acting a little bit.
It's more about celebrity at that point. And she's famous. You know, she's one of the biggest girl groups ever. Don't do this to Kelly. Don't have me up here.
Yo, Kelly was my favorite since a child. I was
late
Kelly
to the party, but I'm at the party now.
I liked Kelly more than I liked Beyonce growing up. So I get it. I absolutely get it. I understand that one. It's your Ashanti one. That's the one I'm not 100% on, but I still get it. But Kelly Rowland, that's a different story. Mm-hmm.
You can't help who you love, you know. You can't help who you love.
You can't. You sure cannot. What is wrong with you?
Something else happened, and now I went blank. Oh, you said something, and now it's gonna come back to me.
Like in the world news or celebrity news or something?
Yeah, but I think it was related to the Oscars too. We do have to address the white outrage. There was a lot of white outrage, a lot of overreaction, a lot of overreactions. It was Judd. You know who Judd Apatow is?
I know the name.
He wrote all any Will Ferrell movie. He basically of the past.
Okay.
And Steve Carell, he directed and wrote all their movies.
Okay.
That's him. But he tweeted he could have killed him. Really, Judd? Really? I don't think that would cross anybody else's mind. Like, oh, he's gonna kill Chris. What if somebody stood up and yelled that as it was happening? That's why I shouldn't ever be allowed at events like that. Because I would be the one to turn it up and yell that out. He's gonna kill him.
Just flip a table over for no reason.
Just cause sheer panic in the audience.
I would say Chris took it like a G though. Like,
he did.
He just
ate it. He just ate it.
Yeah, he did. It just looked like wow. Like
yeah. And Will did go back. I rewatched it again earlier. I forgot how far back he
It was just so quick that you don't see it all. I was like, that's that Ali training coming out.
It wasn't it was
It was what did the 5 fingers say to the face? Like that.
It was Charlie Murphy.
He put his body in that.
Man, I want to slap somebody now. I do. It's somebody I do want to slap. I thought about it earlier today. I think I might slap him.
That dude with the prosthetic leg. You still bitter about that?
That's long. That's water under the bridge. That was 15 years ago. No, it's somebody I recently want to slap, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I could just, if I see him, I should just slap him. Just let him know I wasn't playing. You know. Nah, for real. Just let them know. Yo, I wasn't joking about it. I know you take me sometimes. I'm joke a lot about stuff, but no, I'm gonna just slap you. I feel Will now. I understand. I'm starting to understand where Will coming from. Sometimes you just gotta slap some people. Dang, I can't believe now. I feel like I just switched my whole. I was all no, you don't. Violence is never the answer. But now I'm like, no. Sometimes you just gotta send a message and just slap somebody. Just slap him.
I do appreciate it being a slap more than him punching him.
A punch would have been a fight. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta really fight after. I mean, most people would have fought after the slap, but I think it was just a little bit of a less of an impact where it's all right. Dang.
But I still think though, not everybody's a fighter. I don't think Chris Rock is a fighter. I don't think he still would have fought him back.
I'm taking the Will Smith. I'm definitely taking Will Smith in a second round knockout.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say a first round knockout.
Probably. I'm gonna give
within the first minute, it's gonna be over.
Because Chris, because I think Will is 4. They said 4 inches taller, 50 pounds heavier. Because
he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And we've all watched Everybody Hates Chris. We know he's not a fighter. Caruso was tagging him his whole life.
Man. Yeah.
That's not who he is.
Yeah. Speaking of have you been watching Abbott Elementary?
I have. I'm not fully caught up.
Either.
I think I've only
catch up too, but it's excellent. It's really good.
I do like it. I love that Zach Fox is on it.
Oh, right.
I didn't expect that the second episode. I was like, yes, Zach.
And he got into some trouble too, so it's really surprising that he has a role
He
on it.
did.
He did something. I forget what he did, but he was in some hot water with the big he did something, tweeted something, did something because he does a lot of
Yeah.
antics. He does.
I was about to say that sounds about right.
I forget what he did. He got into some hot water and but yeah, he stepped good for him.
He's really funny though.
Yeah,
I have to give him that.
Yeah, shout out to Keita Brunson, friend of the show.
Yo, she's hilarious. I was watching some of her stand-up clips. She's really funny. Like
Word.
her mind, the way her mind works, and like the jokes that she came up with. I'm like, she's brilliant. I see why she has her own show. Like this, she's really funny.
Word, that's dope, huh? Yeah, I'm about to check out because I'm about to watch the clip.
She got a joke about Harriet Tubman. So funny. Like, I don't even know how she came up with that, but it's really funny.
Yeah, shout out to her.
But yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I've had in the past week several people mention I should like be a teacher or like go into. Some lady said I should do substitute teaching for math in Detroit public schools, and then like specifically in Detroit public schools because there's not a lot of men, and then there's not a lot of black men, and like we need some black men to like influence some of our youth. And then my mom was actually one of them. She was like, I just think you should do teaching. Like it could fit how you want to have more freedom. Like you don't have to work 8 hours. And I fight her on that a lot because I'm like, yes, you do. and
I was gonna say, it's gonna be 8 hours. You gonna get that 8 hours somewhere.
she was like, well, the kids, they go to school from 7 to 3. And then I'm like, but that's 8 hours. And the teachers are there before and after. So that's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then she's like, you get like winter break, spring break, you get the summer off. But my mom says specifically that I should do substitute teaching so that I have more of that freedom. She's like, I think that will allow you your freedom, and how much they're paying people to be substitute teachers right now because they're so short staffed. Because I guess she saw something that they were paying an additional $25 an hour for substitute teachers. And I'm like,
maybe I need to look into substitute.
I was like, yeah, that don't sound bad.
Yeah.
If it's an additional, I'm like, what were they getting before that? I don't know. And I don't know where that was or school district or whatever, but I just don't know if I can handle kids like that.
If I could grab you by your cheeks right now and just seen Billy Madison where Billy grabbed a little kid. It's a scene in Billy Madison.
It's been a while.
It's a scene in Billy Madison where the little kid be like, I can't wait to get to high school, Billy. And Billy come and grab, it's a fat kid. And Billy grabbed him by his cheeks. And he said, don't you ever say, stay here as long as you can. He started shaking him. Stay here. That's my advice. Stay in Costco as long as you can. No, I'm playing. I mean, yeah, it's definitely like, I don't know. You gotta definitely have like the temperament for it. I'll say that. It's not something like, I mean, you can be the person who doesn't care. There are substitutes. You can just mail it in. You can be that sub. You can definitely be that sub. But you ultimately are not going to have a good time.
I know I'm not.
Even if you're like, especially if you're mailing it in, because like they smell, teenagers smell, especially it depends on what grade you do. That's really, it's very age specific.
That's the hardest part, is figuring out what age group. Like I can't do.
It's very age specific.
I can't do anything under 4th grade. I can't.
Wait, let's like be cautious how we word this, because this is we talking about ages and stuff. Like, oh, I can do 15-year-olds. I like 15. No, we got worded like, let's be careful in 2022 about how we articulate these points. All right, but I get what you're coming from.
I can't teach children in the 4th grade under.
So you would want an older crowd.
But I also don't think I could do high school.
Because I'm telling you, they sharks in the water.
I
They
know.
can smell the fear.
I know. I mean, but little kids can too, though. Not like that little. It's with them. It's more attention span, and I'm gonna just be frustrated. It's just like, if you don't pay attention, and like teaching the same thing over and over and over again.
5th, 6th, and 7th is a good sweet spot.
That seems like it would be better.
Yeah, that's a good sweet spot.
But I still don't know.
And it's Detroit Public Schools.
Right. Every teacher that I know in Detroit has quit. Like, they are no longer teachers anymore. 2 of them became lawyers. One of them is like, I think somebody went back to med school. Like, they went off and did harder, like things that we think are just like so abysmally hard. And they were like, this is better than teaching in Detroit public school. Like, they're just
they became a brain surgeon. They was like, this is a breeze. I get the brain. I can handle this.
You got several people that went in physical therapy. Like,
man,
they all quit.
Man.
And I don't know. Like, I know I don't have a capacity for something like that, to be honest. Like, I did youth group at church. I don't do youth group anymore for a reason. Like, it's not that I don't like being an influence and trying to like shape young minds. They don't respect me. Like, they look at me as an equal.
They gonna see food.
They look at me as an equal. When we had new students come in, they thought I was in high school with them. Like, they didn't know. Like, they would literally ask, "What school do you go to?" I'm like, I'm an adult. Like, I'm a leader here. And they're like, "Oh, for real?" And I'm like, "Yes." Do I look that young, or do I seem that immature? And I guess I do.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, if they think you're close to their age, it's even harder to gain like a level of. But that's also though, that's the way in though too, because
I think so.
Yeah, in my experience, that like you're right. Initially, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's my age," or you like but that's your way in because you kind of can relate better to them than somebody who's 40, 50. You really know what's happening, like what music they like,
But I don't.
Oh well,
because I'm so aloof. Like, I just stay in my own world. I mean, I would learn. Like, I would pick it up quickly.
Yeah,
like it wouldn't be awkward for me to start talking.
But that's the thing, though. If you didn't know, you're more equipped to take an interest in whatever they're into at that point, and to
that's
learn.
true.
And so,
start listening to G Matt Cash.
I don't even know who that is. I don't. That's
he's a Detroit rapper.
Oh, I just know Babyface Ray.
I don't even know who that is.
Sada Baby. Them the two Detroit
Sada
rappers.
Baby. Yeah. There's so much. There's so many Detroit rap. Detroit rap is similar to, like, they rap like Blueface. Like, that's Detroit.
Yeah,
rap.
they do. They get that. They all got that real offbeat flow. It's weird, and I don't like it.
Just quick. I don't either.
Yeah,
but that's Detroit, and it's like early 2000s, late 90s beats. Like, that's the only difference. But it's weird. Yeah. And they talk about buffs and chargers. It's
Yeah, they do. They all, because when I hear there's some Detroit rappers I've heard that I thought were from the West Coast, and I'm like, oh, this is Detroit. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's very
Memphis
strange.
though. Memphis been, I can't, every time we talk about rap, I gotta bring up Memphis. Memphis, man, they don't miss out that city. They do not miss. I love everything they come out with. Key Glock is like one of the hardest. Him and Dolph together, rest in peace to Dolph. Him and Dolph together, just magic. Just every song, just magic. Oh my gosh. Dolph make good like hustle. Dolph make you feel like you can really come achieve whatever you're trying to put. He raps with like Moneybag Yo is dope. Moneybag Yo also he's one of the most quoted rapper. He like raps in like Instagram captions. He does. He always gonna give you an Instagram caption. Yo Gotti's obviously one of the OGs. Pooh Shiesty before he went to jail. Super hard. I'm not into Black Youngster as much, but he got a couple songs. That's all right.
I didn't know any of these people were from Memphis.
All Memphis, yeah. All Memphis.
All I know is Project Pat, 3-6 Mafia.
That's the foundation.
And Justin Timberlake.
Oh, I forgot he from there. Don't forget Elvis, then, since we going there.
Nah, forget him.
Yeah, they all from Memphis by way of Atlanta though. They all live in Atlanta now, but they yeah.
I feel like 3-6, they still in Memphis, aren't they?
I think Project Pat definitely is. I don't know about Juicy. Juicy J probably in LA.
Maybe, yeah, that makes sense. He's big time now. After they won that Grammy,
yeah, he blew up.
He's, but I still have so much respect for them, and it took me a while before I realized like their name really says 3-6 Mafia. Like I never really thought about that until somebody pointed it out. But they're like musical geniuses in my mind. Like Juicy J, the stuff he produces, like I ever so often when I'm listening to music and you get the like suggested playlist that just comes and they always have something that Juicy J produced and you can just tell that he produced it.
Yeah.
It slap every time. I'm just like, he's really good at this. Like,
yeah. But yeah, and Memphis really like it doesn't get the credit, but like everybody copies Memphis, and especially in the southern rap scene, probably even further out, but definitely in the South, everybody's copying Memphis to some extent and what they doing, and adding they little here and there, doing it to copying enough where you can't tell, but you can really if you start really listening, you be like, all right, you get this from Memphis, you get this flow, and everything. But everybody from Memphis sound like they all got the same. Oh, I forgot about Duke Deuce, another Memphis rapper. Crunk ain't dead. He bringing back Crunk. He is. That's his whole angle. He's bringing back Crunk.
That's funny.
Yeah. But no, everybody's copying Memphis right now, for sure. And it's been that way for a while, but definitely right now.
Like, so you're saying like
Beats,
the whole
flow,
industry, or just like
I say
Southern
primarily
rap?
Southern rap, like primarily Southern rap, primarily like Atlanta. Like Atlanta's getting a lot of its influence from Memphis.
Okay,
for sure. Yeah. A lot. Some. Yeah. I was. Yeah. I could. Yeah. I go out on the limb and say that. I'm trying to think. Dang, I lost my thought. But yeah. Memphis they're the ones.
I didn't know that.
Also, I've noticed and rap is changing a lot. I know I'm out the loop because I'll be thinking all these young rappers rap, but nobody's rapping really. Everybody's singing, rapping, kind of. Like Lil Durk is the biggest thing out right now, one of the biggest things out. And I listen to the stuff and I be like, oh, he like making hook, like he's like a hook guy more so than a rapper. Like he raps, but he like is like singy. NBA YoungBoy, same thing. It's a song by NBA YoungBoy I love right now called Nevada. And he's singing. He is crooning on that thing.
Yeah, he sing a lot.
Yeah, I thought he rap. I thought these cats was rapping. They are singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why. I feel like that's a part of why, like Corday. Do you ever listen to him?
Not really, but I know a lot of people think very highly of him. I know.
I think that's why they respect him so much because it's like. He really raps, like he don't really be trying to do nothing else. But and I think he's talented too, but I think he could potentially suffer from the J. Cole effect of being a little boring. But But he's good though. I really like him. I just don't listen to. His stuff doesn't have a lot of replay to me.
That I was just talking to somebody when I was Ubering with them. I was driving them, and this white dude ran. I think he was drunk, so we was having a conversation. He surprised me with what he knew about music, because we was having like a whole music discussion, and he was saying, like, I was telling him out, like, I think Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly." It was like the 7-year anniversary, like a few weeks ago, like a week ago or something. And
Mm.
I was telling him, like, that's my favorite album, but I was telling him also that Kendrick's music really doesn't have a lot of replay value to me. Like, honestly, like, it's good,
Mm.
it's really good. Like, in the moment, it was good. "To Pimp a Butterfly," I'll go back and listen to like once, maybe twice a year, but it's not like something I'm playing. Like, I play more Drake regularly in Future. Like, if I'm gonna replay some stuff over and over again, I play them two way more than I would play Kendrick. And that's no
Mm.
shade. I play even Kanye. I might even play a little more than Kendrick. And it's no shade because Kendrick's great, but his music just like it's not a lot of replay value. Honestly, I know that's
Yeah.
weird, and that sounds crazy to say, but I think people know what I mean. Like, it's not
Yeah.
saying, yeah,
Like I get it,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know if non-music people would get it.
Yeah, they was just yeah.
Cause
But
that's, I mean, I've always felt like that with J. Cole too. I'm like, dude's good. He can rap,
yeah, you know where I
but
stand with J.
but
Cole,
I don't want to keep listening to this all the time.
because he's boring. That's why. That's why. That's why.
I don't actually think he's that boring. Not as much as people say he is.
When I want to hear rapping, I can listen to Freddie Gibbs right now. That's my favorite, like,
Mm.
rapper. Yeah, Freddie be going right now. I don't know why I never name him when people ask me my favorite, because he's like one of my favorite rappers right now. I really like his rapping.
Mm.
But yeah,
Surprisingly, I still haven't really listened to him. Like
yeah,
I keep saying I will, but I've never done it.
yeah. He got some stuff though. He does have
And
some.
the stuff I've heard, I'm like, he's good. Like he got that song with Tom Mish and
Oh,
Yusuf
oh,
Masoud something.
Yusuf Davis or something. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's it.
Yeah,
Um, that always comes on my playlist. But um, yeah. But he got like other features and stuff. Like he worked with Tyler the Creator sometime.
right.
Actually, Tyler Creator has moved himself into one of my
His
favorite
that album
artists.
last year was dope. It was dope. And the
Yeah.
album before that was dope, actually.
Igor was great.
Yeah, Igor was dope.
Yeah.
I love Earthquake. Earthquake is my joint.
That's mine
Anything with a
too.
Charlie Wilson feature is gonna be my joint. Yeah, yeah.
No matter big or small, how small
Big,
he is in the
yeah,
background.
yeah. If I hear
Like
Charlie on it, I'm replaying that mug. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's some cool little people out right now. Music's in a weird spot though. It is in a weird spot. But I told you, Future changed everything. That's why these cats are singing now. That's why he opened the floodgates. He changed rap, man. He really did.
You don't think Drake started doing that stuff too?
He
Like,
did, but Future took it like a different. He made it like Drake still is like Drake really separates that. Future has no separation between the rapping and the singing. It's all kind of one thing. Does that make sense? Like when Drake
yeah,
is singing, he's gonna be just strictly singing for the most part. When he's rapping, he's gonna be primarily rapping.
unless it's like the hook or chorus.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He might throw a little
yeah.
hook in but he's like Future is doing like the same thing, both at the same, like how all these cats is doing, like NBA YoungBoy and Dirk.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Nah, it's really impressive and amazing to be able to like do something different in a genre. Like
mm,
when you think you've heard everything that's been done and then you can come up with something that's just a little bit different. And
yeah,
that and I hate that I'm even bringing him up because I don't like him at all. But the baby is true to that also. Like his flow is just a little different that it's unique
mm.
enough. And
But
I
then he
think
got stuck in it because he don't. All his songs sound the same.
they do, but it's like he just runs with it because it still makes money. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I mean I think that's true in other genres more than anything, that you have something and you just stick with it and that's just your sound. Like a lot of like alternative rock bands, they all sound the same to me. Pop pop definitely all sounds the same.
We gotta have
Um
a genres conversation on another pod. I'm gonna put that out because
okay.
I've realized that genres are a racially constructed thing, like for sure. I'm like more convinced than ever, and I'll say why real quick because we gotta
Yeah,
go.
say that.
But so I listened to this group. What's the name of the group? Oh my gosh, their old group. The Eagles. You've heard the
Okay.
Eagles?
Yeah.
So I
They
thought
got
the
some dope stuff.
well, yeah, they do, but I thought the Eagles was like Leonard Skinner, or just this rock, just like kind of like '70s, '80s rock. They're a
Yeah.
soul group more so. Like they got a song. I can't. Let me feel. I'll pull up. It's a
Yeah.
song they
But
have.
they're classified as like classic rock.
Yeah, it's classic rock, but it's really not It's not rock to me though. It's like it's just they call anything white is rock. That's just what it
Mhm.
is, and anything black is gonna be R&B or soul or whatever or rap and everything like that. But it's really like what's the name of this song? I'm gonna find the song. Not Hotel Kyle. I think it's "Take It to the Limit" is the song. It's listen to that. "Take It to the Limit" by the Eagles. I
It's
was
like
listening to.
not that one. Takes
Mm,
it to the limit. The Scarface.
no, it's not that. No, it's not
No, I
that.
think that's Push It to the Limit.
Yeah,
Okay. But yeah,
yeah,
they was
yeah,
all like making ballads back in like
yeah,
70s,
yeah. It's like, yo,
80s.
that song that I was like, the Isleys could easily cover this and kill it. Like that's what
Mm.
I was as I was listening. I was like, yo, this is like this got R&B elements because I like now my ear like playing piano has changed my ear like
Mm.
drastically. So I'll be hearing chords. I'm like, oh, that's an R&B chord. That's a funk chord. I could just easily like identify that type of stuff now. And everything that I was hearing from them, I was like, oh, this is like soul, but they're white, so it's gonna be called rock. And
Mm.
that's hence where my theory came from. So yeah,
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, we saw it most recently, I think, with um Lil Nas X.
right.
Like he was like, "I'm making country music," and they was just like, "No, you're not, nigger. Get it back over there."
Yeah, basically that just happened to Doja Cat recently. She got into it was a big controversy. She even announced she was quitting music because people was well, she got into an issue with some people. That was a whole different thing. What happened was Remy Ma came out and said she doesn't consider Doja Cat to be a rapper, which is
Mm.
totally not, because Doja Cat be rapping.
Right.
She does be rapping, but like her music is more poppy. So like somehow there has to be a distinction between if you're rapping or if you're making pop music. But she's really
Mm.
doing both, and a lot of rap music is pop music. But so oftentimes pop music again is most times pop music is associated with white people for the most part, unless a
Yeah.
black person makes a song big enough or large enough where it transcends their genre.
Beyonce.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, okay, this is a pop record. But most black people don't get to make pop. We got to make R and
Right.
B or hip hop or rap. And it's like Doja Cat is like a pop artist, but she can rap. She's also a rapper, and she's a good rapper.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nah, I had just recently started paying attention to how much stuff she's in, and like she is killing it. Like she
yeah,
is out here. She if she keeps this run going, I hope she's not actually gonna just stop doing music, but like she could be on a T-Pain run. That's
yeah,
how like out here she is. And I didn't
yeah,
even recognize. I didn't half the time I didn't know that that was her, and now that I've learned her voice, I'm like, "Oh, she is on everything."
yeah. She is, yeah, and she can really rap. Like it's not like, oh, just I don't know. Yeah,
You know what
it's
my song right now is though?
what is it?
Um it's
Hot
Saweetie.
Girl
And,
Summer.
it's Saweetie and her
What's the
closer.
song? I ain't heard. I don't think I've heard that. Yeah.
That that is my jam. Every time they come on at work, I just be like just dancing. And then whenever some like toxically masculine dudes come by, I like slow down a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, but but that's my jam.
Uh, you like back in high school and the bullies, like you really a theater kid, but you ain't allowed. So
These dudes, they almost jumped me one day because I had on a Simpson shirt.
at the
Eh,
store they
in high school. No, when
Oh.
you bringing that up, I just thought of a trauma.
Trigger something. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Man. I'm sorry.
nah, but I don't know. I think they were just like trying to punk me. I don't know if they were actually going to, but in my mind, I was plotting how I was gonna fight all three of these dudes.
Were they big or
And
were they same size as you?
I mean, I was a freshman. I don't know
Okay.
what grade they were, but
Okay.
I just had on this Simpsons shirt and it was Homer just like laying on a hammock and it said, I don't remember what it said, but they were just like, take that off. And I was like, no. And he was like, and then they all like stepped up on me and like cornered me and was just like, I said, take that off. And I was like, no. And he was like in front of the stairs, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna push dude in the middle. Hopefully he go far enough and fall down the stairs. Then I'm gonna come back, hit this dude on the left, hit this dude on the right, and I'm gonna just run. If not, I'm gonna take my book bag off, swing it, hit somebody. Like I was plotting how I was about to take all three of these dudes out. And I just like went in fight or flight mode. So but
just let you go.
But yeah, then it was just like after they like approached me, and I'm sure I looked nervous, and I was just like, I'm not taking the shirt off though. Like you're not getting the shirt off of me. And then they was just like, nah, we playing. And then they just like backed off. And then I'm like, then I just went upstairs.
They was
I was
testing
like-
your gangster.
I was like, oh, these Negroes are abrasive over here. Welcome to the hood.
Welcome.
That was my first hood school
That
ever.
was like, what set you from? Where your mama live?
The Academic Magnet Academy. That's the part of the school I was in because they separated the Academic Magnet Academy, and there were like 3 different like blocks of the school. The school was huge, and all the smart kids were over on one half, and then all of the other kids were on the other 2 halves, and it was just pandemonium over there. And they like they tried to keep us protected from everything, but those kids were from the other side, and then they were just like chilling over in our area skipping class while like I think it was our lunch period because we didn't even eat lunch together. Like they separated it was really segregated. They didn't like us, and for good reason. Even like it wasn't something that we did. It was just how the
Right.
school set it up.
That's
But
prison.
then
That's
then when we left, no. So that like I told you about that brawl that happened, like that was all the
Oh,
other
right.
side. That was all the other side kids. But it happened right at like the entrance of our hallway, and that's why I could hear it. And it was a mess. That school was something else. I had such a culture shock.
I bet.
Never been around hood kids like that.
Oh man, I bet.
That's why I'm comfortable in Detroit now, though.
I've been a gangster my whole life, so that's all I know.
Yeah, okay.
My whole life.
Whatever you say.
I came out the womb a gangster.
Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear. You got a sexy little body and your booty looks soft. Mind if I touch it to see if it's soft? Wait till you see my oh. Wait till you see my oh. Hey girl, wait till you see my oh. You'll like this. Like beum, 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 beum. Beum, beum, beum. Oh yeah. Beum, 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 beum. Beum, beum, beum. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Goodbye.
I knew you wouldn't be expecting that.